Hi, welcome back to Homespun in Wales, and it's another hot day here. We mustn't complain because before long it'll be cold, wet, windy, raining, so we have to make the most of the hot weather while we've got it. So let me fill you in on what's been going on. Now, on my last video, I'm sort of trying to think now, I was down the cabin and I was showing you bits that I'd got finished and what I was working on and etc. Right, first off, I've had a day at the machine embroidery group. That was not last Friday, the Friday before, and I was setting them a monthly challenge to do. So this is just something totally off my own back. And so the challenge I set them this month, I've changed the challenge. It was going to be they brought an ugly fat quarter, and I had a challenge involving that. But as we were down in numbers last month, end of last month, I decided to change the challenge. So what I did was I took along these. Oh, now these are all silk scarves, and as you can see there's some lovely colours. There's plain ones as well, lots of plain ones. There's lots of nice oh, where are we? Come here, you. Sorry, they're still all in their wrappers. Nice batik ones. So there's lots of plain. There's lots of batiks. So I took these along and told them all to choose one. Let me take one out of its packet to show you. So they're quite a nice size silk scarf. Oh. So the take that out. So there we go. That is the size of it. So it's quite a considerable size of fabric. Now, I shall end up using this one now because I've taken it out of the packet, and they're all just overlocked on the edges, you know. So the challenge is they have to use their silk scarf to make something. They don't have to use all of it if they don't want. It doesn't have to be machine embroidery. It can just be sewing. So like I say, they can use part of it, they can add fabric to it, totally up to them. But they have to use at least some of it. And they have to bring along their project at the end of this month, our session then, and sort of do a bit of a show and tell really of what they've done with their silk scarf. So that'll be quite an interesting project to see what everybody's come up with. So I'm going to use this one. I've got something in mind, but of course I'm not saying. I will show you come the time when we're showing the projects. So let me clear them off the table then. I'll put them down here on the floor. The initial project I had in mind, I was going to use that colour for, which is yellows and reds and greens, but I've sort of changed my mind. So that is the challenge that I've set them for July. So what else has been going on? I haven't actually had getting a vast amount of sewing done. At the last sewing group, machine embroidery group, my machine was playing up, and before we, a couple of days before the group, I'd been stitching the panels to that Sweet Pea crossbody bag, and I'd been doing them, of course, in canvas and you know, and there was lots of zips, lots of panels, and so you had the canvas, you had the batting, and you had the cotton lining. Well, you had whatever fabric. I chose canvas to do on top. Now the last panel, which included the zip pocket, the foot of my machine got caught as it was travelling back across, and I then limped through the rest of the work that I had to do. Packed all the machine up, took it with me to the machine embroidery day, and I was doing, oh, let me go and fetch it and I'll show you what it is I was doing. Right, I'm back. Now this is just a fleece gilet I wear around the farm, but I'd bought this design from Machine Embroidery in their sale, and I thought it would look nice on the back of the fleece. So, and it's a sepia wolf, howling wolf, and I've also added some footprints at the bottom, but it was like every 50 stitches my thread was shredding and breaking, and so I was constantly re-threading the machine, and it was just a constant issue, constant, and it just never ever stopped. No matter whether I changed the thread, the bobbin, the needle, did all the usual, cleaned everything out, and it still wasn't playing ball. Let me just hang that up there out of the way. So yeah, so in the end, when I was doing the footprints at the bottom, I thought, that's it, I've had enough. Took them, switched the machine off. When I got home the next day, I had a good look at the machine. I'll put a photo up here now showing what the issue was, and it's the retaining clip for the thread was bent, and I assume it had got bent when the foot of my machine got caught when I was doing that sweet pea crossbody bag. I tried pushing the retainer clip back, but it was really quite badly bent. I've managed to push it back and I've managed to stitch with it. Not entirely happy. So I did order another spare part online for it, and later on this week I shall, and the part has now arrived, so later on this week I shall go down the cabin and I shall get that changed. If I don't manage to get it changed myself, there is only one little screw to undo. I am doing a video to show what I'm doing to it. Then it will have to go and get booked in to be fixed, which will cost a lot more. It cost me £19 with delivery for the spare part, so I expect it'll cost me £50, £60, £70 to go in and get repaired. Yeah, so it's sort of quite an expensive repair really, and it just means the machine's been out of action. But I did the other day sit there and put the bag together, so it's now all together. It's got the front pocket there, it has got the zip pocket here. Now it was this panel here that got caught on the embroidery machine, so it's got a nice zip pocket there, which is all fully lined. The only bit of the bag now I don't like, right, you've got this nice strap, padded bit of the strap, and it's got some grippy mesh fabric on the back so it doesn't keep sliding around, but the webbing of the strap comes through here fastens to the bottom. You got 2 loops. You can do that side if you want, depending whether you want to wear it that way or that way. But to get into this main pocket, the main part of the bag, you will have to take the bag off to get the webbing out of the way so you can access a zip. You can't really access it while you're wearing it, which is a bit of a bind really. If I was to do another one, I would attach that to the front there of the bag, so that keeps that pocket secure. The webbing I would have come from the back directly here. I could change it. I could cut that off, machine that on there, and machine that. I still might actually do that, but I'm not going to unpick it and do it. If I do it, it will be literally just be stitched on, because that to me isn't practical. If I'm wearing my bag, I want to be able to unzip it to get in. I don't want to have to. Let me think. Right, let's put it on. I'll show you what I mean. Right, put that arm in there. Right, so you're wearing it. I even checked on the instructions that I had read it right. Right, so you're wearing it like that. You can get to this pocket here, easy. You can get into this bit, easy. But to get into this bit here, you either have to strangulate yourself with the webbing to get it open, or take it off, which to me defeats the object a bit. So I was hoping to take this to the quilt festival with me. I'll mention that in a minute, but it's not practical to use as it is, so I think I'm gonna have to change it. So anyway, inside is all fully lined, and there's another mesh pocket in there on the back panel there, you know, to keep keys or phone or whatever, you know, so you don't have to rummage around in the bottom. So that's the bag finished. It did actually go together really well. It all sits really well together. It is just that annoying detail. But there we go. Right, Quilt Festival. I am going to the Quilt Festival. I'm travelling up there. Let me just move that camera back a bit. There we go. I'm travelling up on Thursday the 30th, but I'm travelling to Milton Keynes, where and I'm staying Thursday night in Milton Keynes. Then I'm getting the train with Mandy up to the Quilt Festival on Friday. So we'll spend the day up there on Friday, and then we'll come back. I'll spend Friday night again in Milton Keynes in the hotel, and I'll be travelling home at some point on Saturday. I toyed with the idea, don't I want to go? I know if I go, I'm going to end up buying something. Hence me thinking, if I just take along this with one shopping bag, then that is going to restrict my buying. The only thing I want to, that is on my list to buy, I want to get another fine French linen quilt kit. And I want to get one the same as what I've got, same colourway. The reason being, next year we're putting the farm up for sale next year, so we are hoping that we do sell next year. Now when we move, we're going to be looking for a bungalow. Excuse my table creaking there. Looking for a bungalow, and for our own reasons and that, we've decided we are going to have separate beds this time round. Martin is quite a restless sleeper, and he suffers quite badly with eczema, so that in turn it ends up, I know it's not his fault, but it does end up keeping me awake many a night. It doesn't seem to keep him awake, it just keeps me awake. So we've talked it over, and we thought maybe separate beds is the answer, and so I would like both beds to have the same matching quilt. That's my plan. So I want to get another quilt kit the same as the fine French linen one I've got. I've checked, they are going to be there, and that is the only thing really that's on my shopping list. One of the main reasons I want to go is it Made with Love by Brad? Young man, he's got motor neuron disease, and he's been making a quilt to exhibit at the Festival of Quilts. He's only started quilting last year, and he's going to be displaying his quilt. We've seen sort of preludes of it on his YouTube channel, I'd really like to see the quilt in person, and just to be able to support him. You know, I think it's fantastic achievement what he's done, absolutely fantastic, and in such a short space of time, and to see how he's struggled to do what he wanted to do, and to make this quilt sort of as a legacy, and to be able to display it at the Festival of Quilts. So hats off to him. You know, I want to it's a butterfly, I thought it was a wasp. I want to go along to see this quilt in person, and I'll pop a link to his channel down below. And you know, he's overcome so many difficulties, and it will just be so nice to see it. So that's my main reason for going. I wasn't going to go to the Festival of Quilts this year. I was going to give it a miss and maybe go next year, because I went to the quilt festival, the quilt show in Wales, and November I'm hoping to go up to the NEC then. It's a mixed craft event. So there we go. I've changed my plans for is it Made with Love, Brad? Love Me by Brad? I can't quite remember the name of his channel. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I'm going along. Now we're into a new month. We're into July, so of course July means a new box. Now last month I did show you that I'd pulled out early the knitting project that was in my July box, because I had nothing to sort of sit and do in the evening. I've finished the sock. That's the one that ChatGPT translated the pattern for me. Now I show you up close, you can see that it is far from perfect. I don't even know if you'll be able to spot it, but the issue is I decided, after turning the heel and everything, I decided I wanted to knit the continental way. I haven't knitted the continental way before, but I've seen people doing it, and it seemed an easier way, and it was easier on your fingers. Now I do suffer with arthritis on my fingers, and sometimes it can make knitting quite difficult, although just lately, touch wood, everything's not been too bad. So I decided I would like to practice continental knitting. So I watched a couple of YouTube channels, videos. It seemed fairly easy, just fairly straightforward. So I started practicing. Of course, it was extremely slow. My tension was so off. You know, it's, I don't know how you can see it there, but my tension there is just really, really bad. And then it'd be too tight, then it'd be too loose. And I thought, well, keep going, you know, and it will get better. And it did eventually start to get better. But you know, the tension left a lot to be desired. But it's a pair of socks, and it's not really going to be noticeable once my feet are in them. This is a stretchy elasticine yarn, so it's nice and stretchy. Right, and I'm part way. I have started the second one. I'm sort of about that far down now. Of course, coming to do the second one, because it's a knit to purl to rib, and the continental knitting I've been learning is knitwise. When I come to start the second one, I couldn't figure out how to purl continental wise, so I'm back to knitting the English way, you know, needle in, throwing the yarn over. I could have looked it up on a video, but I thought I just want the socks done now. So that they were out of the July box. The other thing in the July box was this, and this is literally, there's nothing to it to finish off. Right, these are my little Persian, you should be able to curl that right over, there we go. Little Persian slipper, and it's a pin cushion when it's done, so all that's left to do is put the piece in there. Well, I think I'd put a bit more wadding in it actually. There doesn't seem to be a lot of wadding. So it is just closing up the entrance there, and that's it, little pin cushion. You know, you've got the curly toe. Now this I did, where are we? Oh, does it say on it? Gillian Travis, and this was August 2011, so that's 15 years ago. I've got template bits there, there's template bits there, and she did it as well, showing embroidery as well as doing it in a patterned fabric. And it was one of them little make and take workshops at the Festival of Quilts, and of course I took it home to finish and never did, so that won't take long to do. So I will get that finished. Now the other thing that was in my July box is another one of my mother-in-law's quilted panels. Oh, so, and it's a autumn one. This must have been, she must have started putting this, oh look, still a needle in it as well. She must have started putting this together before her eyesight went really bad, but starting to get bad because her basting lines are all off. I did think I could stick it all on the quilting frame, but there's not enough backing because she's trimmed the backing literally to the size of the panel. So there's not enough backing, there's not enough wadding, so I'd have to find another backing, find another wadding, or add an extra piece to the backing to be able to put it on the long arm. But I think what I'm going to do is maybe just machine along the straight lines, and just sort of quilt it like that, and then put some binding on, and that will be it, finished. So yeah, so I think that's going to be a quick and easy make. And this is Andover fabrics, that's who it is. And of course the backing, it's quite a nice backing, it's autumnal, it goes with it, matches perfectly, so I think that's what I'm going to do with that. So that's all that there was in the July box. Now one more thing I've got to show you. I kept seeing on Facebook these adverts coming up for the folk art painting, and now I've dabbled in folk art painting before when I had the shop, and I thought I might just I'd quite like to have another go at it, so I signed up for it and my kit arrived. All the lessons are online, you're a member for life. You've got access to all the video tutorials, and then if you want some of the advanced lessons, you know, there is advanced lessons there. So it's the Ultimate Folk Art Painting Masterclass. You can folk it, and this is for beginner painters. So let me show you what's in the box. Graphite paper, that's for tracing, and there is of course tracing paper. Paints, these are the Deco Art Americana paints, and you've got the 5 colours, and of course you can blend colours to make colours, etc. So that's quite good, although I've got a massive selection down there in the cabin of paints. You've also got these little paints, so in that one you've got white, purple, it's like a forest green, a silver grey, and a rusty red. And in this little pot you've got yellow, white, brown and black. You've got a double-ended embossing tool. Oops, that's obviously for tracing. And this is your bit of tissue to wipe your brush on. But these are your brushes. Now the thing with folk art painting is, because you're double loading brushes, etc., your brushes, I don't know how well you can see, but like that one's cut to a specific shape, and that one is, and then these ones are the really fine ones. So you've got your paint brushes. I just thought I'd be able to come up here and dabble in the evenings. Right, and then this is the lesson book. So it tells you before you begin, you know, how to access videos, etc. And then you've got the actual lessons to go along with the videos. So, you know, and as you work through them, you see there's your picture to trace. I'm not going to show you them all, but you get an idea. So yeah, so you can yeah, just work your way at your own speed through the book. So there's quite a lot of lessons in there. Yes, the course, you can pay for it over 3 months if you want. I think it was it for, I can't remember how much it was a month now. now, I can't remember. I paid £145 for the complete kit, all the lessons, etc. I think for you could pay monthly, and I think it was like £50 a month you paid. So it was a little bit of a saving paying for it all in one go. So I'm looking forward to getting started with that. I did have a Mrs. Quilty come. Let me just show you the fabrics from that. Let me go and get them. Right, this selection is more of a green nature selection, and you know, the fabrics, I do like their selection of fabrics actually. Butterflies and leaves. Oh, let me undo the ribbon so you can see them properly, then I can show you them. Right. Or moths, is it moths? Moths and butterflies and leaves. So they are proper fat quarters as well. I'm not going to unfold them all. That one is more moths and butterflies. That's a nice plaid. That's another one with butterflies and moths. That one's some foliage. And another foliage selection. And another one. Then there's a green polka dot. A green plaid. A foliage on white. There's another polka dot, that's green on white. And then there's a pink with a daisy. So quite a nice selection of fabrics, and I'm basically doing the block of the month from each of the fabric packs, and that is the block for this month. And is it, they come out 12 by 12 I believe. So this is Idaho Beauty, and 12.5 by 12.5. Time it takes 2 to 3 hours. Finish size 12.5 by 12.5. Quilting level beginners. So it does tell you, it breaks it all down step by step for you all the way through. There are other projects in the book for you to use your fabric with, but I'm not really interested in doing them. I'm quite happy to do the block of the month and then add the rest of the fabrics to my stash, although I might end up doing some of the other blocks out of the different colorways, and then I'm hoping then with all the blocks of the month to be able to put them together to make one nice big quilt. So that is that. Now the only other thing I've got is, if I turn the camera around, right, you see that this unit here, this is all dressmaking fabric. Now, you know, I said I wanted to get more into dressmaking. Let's take that off the top, because I want to show you this one. So these have all come in mystery boxes, and I've got plans for most of them. Now this is like I love the design on it, absolutely love it, but it's like can you see, like an Airtex fabric? Probably see it better from the back. So, and I did think, what on earth can I make with that? Well, what I'm going to do is, right, bear with me while I try and explain this, because it's a bit right, a couple of years ago I was experimenting doing some machine embroidery on a sweatshirt that I'd made into a cardigan, and I machine embroidered all the way around the base. Wildflowers in white. You can't see them very well, but there we go. Right, now the problem of course is, like everybody knows with machine embroidery, because this was just very much an experiment. With machine embroidery, you've got, if I take the pins out of this bit here, you've got the back. So that's the front, which is quite a nice design, but of course whenever I put it on, you could, and it flapped open, you could see the backing, which I didn't like. Now I had this, some of the fabric I had come in one of the bundles was this sort of stretchy jersey, and I thought about using that to line the inside, but there's too much stretch in it. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to line the inside of that with this. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I think I'm going to have to cut open, because I don't want to do the sleeves. I don't know, I might be able to just trace a pattern and or whatever, but that is my plan for that piece of fabric. Yeah, so that's the plan for that. And I've got other fabrics there that I want to make sort of like some pyjama things with. There's some more dressmaking ones there, and one of the fabrics, they came from there was two companies I used, and one was the Pound a Meter company, and they did a mystery box, and the other one was, I can't remember what they were called, and they were more of an Italian designer fabric. Wasn't too impressed with them fabrics. The Pound a Meter ones I thought was better value. Now I want to do that skirt, and there's this lovely, I don't know if you can see it, little pin stripe in it. So there's enough of that fabric to do that skirt. So I've got that sitting with the pattern waiting to be done. Now the reason I went on to the Pound a Meter was I wanted some lining fabric for the coat that I'm going to do, which I bought, I don't know if I showed you or not, I bought the wool fabric when I was out with Mandy. We went to a place called Bridgend Fabrics, and that's the coat I want to do, a nice proper winter coat. And I bought this woolen fabric, if I can get it out the bag, to do it. So of course I needed a lining, and I didn't have the pattern with me when I bought the fabric. I knew roughly how much I needed, but it didn't cross my mind about the lining. So I went on to the Pound a Meter, because this cost me £5 a metre, so this has cost me £15 for the 3 meters that I need to make the coat, which is going to be a really good value coat, really. No. So I went on to Pound a Meter, which is also called Dream Fabrics, to see what lining fabric they had. Now they only had the black, and it was 3 meters for £1, I think it was, something like that. No, 3 meters for £3. Pound a meter it was, yeah. So black was the only one they had, so I thought, oh, I'll go with black. I can live with that. So I ordered the black, but I needed to make the order up to be able to get the free delivery, etc. Otherwise it was going to be too expensive. And of course you look through the site, saw their mystery boxes, and thought, oh, I'll get a mystery box as well. So that's how I ended up with their mystery box. So I got the mystery box, the black lining fabric came, but in the mystery box as well was brown lining, and there is enough brown lining to do the coat. There's 4 meters of it there, so I was over the moon with that, because it was really brown I was after for the coat. So that's another project to be done. This is going to be more of an autumnal project, I think. I can't see me working with wool fabric during the summer. I'd like to get the skirt done though. I'd like to get that done, hopefully to go to the Festival of Quilts, and maybe even get the cardigan done as well. We shall see. On my next video, hopefully I'll be able to show you what I've done with my silk scarf for a challenge. So take care everybody, and I'll catch up with you again very, very soon. And thank you very much for watching and subscribing, and if you could do some thumbs up, that really helps the logarithms acknowledge the video, and comments. You know, I'd love any of your comments. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.